Okay, time to record another stubby. Well, I'm hoping for a little bit less stubby, but no way for me to know. Might be another stubby. Okay. Another Honto ni. It's Honto na no or Honto ni na no. It's been a while since I heard this voice line, so I don't remember what it is. Presume we're going to get the death date info dump on Yu's parents. Finally. But Sora, didn't you say you didn't have any information on Yu's father? Were you not paying attention the last few minutes of the game, kid? Did not Sarah ask Sora to comb through the data that she wormed out of the computer?
どうやらそのワームはインゼルヌルにあるレミ LMN04 へアクセスしていたようですね。
Looks like that worm had access to Lemiz IMN04 in Incel No.
ネットワークのログからはそう判断できます。
Network. Okay, Neto Walk. Okay, so network no Ragkarawa. So from the network log, it can be determined. I presume Dekimas would be, it can be understood or it can be known. So capitalization is weird, but it seems to be right. I don't know what actually can be known though. Oh, cause they're the kanji wrong. Not particularly. I can put that into Google Translate because there's like a what? There's a noun there. No, there isn't. Okay, I was wrong. It was fine. Oh, I got tricked by OBS. Okay. Hold on. I see. So you had information. Isn't that great, you? Or you got information, one or the other.
ありがとう少年。
Thank you, kid. Except, why the kid?
そしてマヨありがとう。
I guess that's just the ship. And then, thank you, Mayo. Mayo's like, why is that the order? You hugged Sarah. Okay, we're gonna make up for the lower place in the order. Sarah smiled with a troubled, embarrassed expression. Yeah, Sarah just was reminded she has to go back to the rest of her life now. And so the investigation of Yu's father resumed. Are these quotes from the data? Information on Yu. Tanaki, Yoiki, and... Okay, so the first one's really confusing because... Oh, that's the name of... So it starts off with the name of... Sarah's worm, right? Heaven, Earth, and the three little brothers, right? For some reason I don't see that. Oh, that's the end. Okay, brought back by Heaven, Earth, and the three little brothers. So information on Yu Tanaka. Where's that? Why is it actually spelled out Y-O-U? The translation is not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to know. Yoiki Tanaka and Yuki Tanaka. Okay. Okay, so oh. So it's the kanji followed by the katakana, right? So this batch of this is Tanaka, and this is Yoiki, right? And we didn't capture the slashes, okay? And then this is Tanaki Yoiki. Its pronunciation spelled out in katakana. Tanaka. This is Tanaka. So this is Ta, which means rice field. This is Naka, which means inside. So Tanaka is just inside the rice field, if you're wondering what that name meant. A lot of the Japanese surnames are just like geographical things, like Yamaguchi is just mountain mouth. Or I guess like entrance to the mountain or something like that. Nakayama is like inside mountain. Anyway, and then this is Yuki, which would be the name of Yu's mother. Yuki being the name of her father. And this is Tanaka Yuki spelled out, its pronunciation spelled out using katakana. There is no Yu Tanaka in the sentence anywhere. So where exactly the translator gets that up here is completely unknown. But it's basically just saying information Yuki Tanaka and Yuki Tanaka was brought back by Heaven, Earth, and the three little brothers. Or Heaven and Earth's three little... I don't know what Sarah's getting at with that name. There's a bunch of kanji mashed together. Heaven, Earth, three brothers. Accidentally minimize the translation window, which takes it off of OBS. Sara and Sora toyed with each other's terminals as they continued their analysis. And then...
で、何かつかめた?
Oh, he was like, how, what so far? Did you get anything?
ここで昔起きた事故のことはわからなかったわ。
Is this like the, are we there yet kind of statement? I didn't know about the accident that happened here in the past. Well, you did, but Sara didn't. Interesting. Well then, so in the end it didn't work out? No, kid. It means
それは
she learned something she didn't know, which means she learned of other things she didn't know. That's... I mean, if that's when they died, or that's when Yoiki died, that they found that indicates... Well, they're searching specifically for Yoiki indicates they found out something. Sara did not try to continue.
先輩
Senpai? Why did I just repeat the line? Senpai just means upperclassman, if you weren't aware of that. Sometimes, like, it's like if it's a Japanese word that I think a bunch of people already know, then sometimes I'm tempted not to translate it into an English word, or I'll just say senpai, and they realize, wait a minute, some people don't know what this means. It means upperclassman. It's kind of like gi means uniform, right? Mizugi means water uniform, which is a swimsuit, right? You would think that people tend to know what that means already, and so you wouldn't translate. There's like a bunch. You would translate. There's a bunch of Japanese words that I think like are common knowledge. Gi, dojo, right? Place where you train. Sensei, right? I expect people to know that means teacher. Sayonara, I expect people to know that means goodbye because it kind of became an English word in a way. Senpai, meaning upperclassmen. And of course, like the media, like manga and anime and all that stuff. But maybe somebody doesn't know all those things. It's kind of like this, those like Spanish words that, even though that everyone knows, just like agua. People tend to know that hablar is to talk. People tend to know that tango is I have. comprende. The one that you really think people would know would be comprende, which is the oddly enough the third person singular form of comprender or I don't know if it's a comprendier or comprender. Comprendo would be actually the first person singular. You can mess up and say no comprende, and it's like who doesn't? I forgot what the word for who in Spanish is. Who doesn't comprende? Mucho gusto. I like it a lot. You'd think people would. That's what Sara used. That's what Coco actually quoted in this game. Anyway. Sara looked straight at you. You furrowed her brow at her serious expression. It didn't seem like a situation where they, I guess, could joke around.
松永さんの代わりに私が報告いたします。田中さん、落ち着いて聞いてくださいね。
I'll report on Matsunaga's-san's place. Tanaka-san, please calm down and listen. Well. So I know we're talking about Sora here. Sora did something, but it won't translate. There you go. Sora spoke in a business-like tone, expelling as much emotion as possible, meaning with at least emotion as possible. Yeah, sentences like this that really get me, like, because of all the, like, me trying to understand Japanese because of all the kanji. So it's like, I know this one means sky, or in some contexts it can mean empty, but I don't know what context you would use this for empty, as opposed to a different word for empty. In this case, though, it's actually the name of a character. You can actually name something Sora, which makes it kind of complicated. That's one of the things about English is that we don't actually have names anymore that really mean something. We just don't really do that anymore. A lot of our English names are borrowed from other languages, so we can basically just recognize as a name. They can't be confused with anything else because they're not English words. But a lot of other languages, you still have that, right? And so you could actually name someone. It's like if in English you were just name someone Sky. Sky, get over here. Also, other Japanese names, Kai. What does that mean? It means fire. So it's like just naming somebody fire. Very common all over the world and all throughout history. But to a American English speaker, it's weird because we don't do that. I've dedicated name words. This, I don't know what this means at all. This means power. Or you could say strength, but power is a better one if you just had to translate it as something. This is what Eddie Hall tattooed on his chest, both forwards and backwards. But I don't see how it could be anything backwards. And I don't know if it's the best character to use for strength. And he was trying not to use it as a kanji. He was trying to use it as a original Chinese Han character. But anyway. I don't know what this means at all. I don't know what this means at all. I don't know what this means at all. You can break this apart into its two radicals, but I don't know the radicals of that either. This one is in the word kakimasu, meaning to write. It generally means writing. But it's in this context of a bunch of these other characters I don't know this and that, which makes it indecipherable in this context. Hiragana suggests that these three kanji make up a na adjective. So that's what the part of speech of that is, but I still don't know what it means. But maybe it's something to do with writing. A third of its meaning is writing, so it's some adjective having remotely to do with writing, maybe. This it means mouth or opening, but is also used to describe somebody's mouth, literally as well. Is with mouth and things that are kind of mouth-ish. By itself, as a word, it would be pronounced kuchi. If you stick it in a compound word as the second entry of the compound word, the Japanese people tend to get lazy and pronounce it gucci. They like to encode that, though, literally, those like pronunciation things, literally into their spelling, if they were to spell it out in furigana, unlike English speakers where we never change our spelling. So, although we often like to turn T's into D's when they show up in the middle of words, we never changed our spelling to make them from T's into D's. And oddly enough, probably, if you were to... The only one I can think of right now was battle. It's battle, right? But a lot of times we just say battle. Were to tell an English speaker to slow down and pronounce the word slowly and deliberately, they would probably, because they're still thinking T, even though they're saying D, start saying the T's. This one is kind of weird because it's a... This radical I see a lot, but I don't remember. The first radical I see a lot, but I don't remember exactly what it means. It shows up in a lot of words having to do with language and speech and stuff. And then the second one appears in the word for weak, actually. It's weak inside a movement. But this is not the word for weak because it has the radical that weak also has. Not weak as in not strong, weak as in like the length of time, 7 days. But it has a radical that's shared with that, but it doesn't mean that. And the radical, making the meaning of a kanji from its constituents in radicals in Japanese can get kind of stupid sometimes. So it could be something completely unexpected. It has nothing to do with weeks. This one is pronounced probably in this context, hana. It means talking, generally. If you make it into the word hanashi, which I actually see to see here, can mean story. But from this translation, the translator is giving me, it does seem to mean talking in some way. And then this here, I have no idea what it means. The first of the two radicals that make it up, the one on the radical on the left, by itself, I believe, means woman. But that radical shows up in so many different kanjis that really mean nothing to do with woman. So it being in a kanji as a radical really doesn't mean anything. I don't know what it means. So, like, there's no way I could possibly... although I know, like, a couple of the kanji in the sentence, actually reading it and getting the meaning anywhere close would still be a very far, like, a very remote task, wouldn't it? If you're like, why don't you just go ahead and go on with the game and wonder what happens?
田中陽一様は
Your father, Yoiki Tanaka. Of course, they would say Tanaka Yoiki because Japanese, they put the surname first. Sama is a title of it's like some sort of respect.
すでにお亡くなりになっている可能性があります。
There's a possibility he's already passed away. Well, I mean... Yes, so that's most likely he is, but I guess that's what they're saying, that trying to be nice. They're afraid to saying it that way, trying to be nice. I mean, he wasn't already passed away for you, for the other you.
お父さんが死んでたってこと?
My father is dead?
はい、今から34年前に。
And then this is where she just busts him. Yes. From now, imakara is from now, 34 years backwards. Hi means yes, by the way. So hi, ima, yes, from now, 34, of course. This means year. I presume this is ago in this context. You could also show up in the word "oh my," I believe, and which is a kind of rude way of saying "you," as in like "you," kind of you. You let out a dejected affirmation, but it's like what? Did they use sperm from like? Did he get cancer and he had to donate like freeze his sperm or something? How did that work? You? How's that supposed to work? Unable to find the right words, I put my hand on Yu's shoulder instead. Use affirmation. That's probably not affirmation, it's wrong kanji, right? Yeah. Use body or something. It's trembling slightly. I'm not really concerned enough to go back for it.
やっぱりお父さん死んじゃってたんだ。
Like, my dad's dead, my dad's dead. But then she's probably gonna realize, wait, what? I knew it. My father was dead after all. But wait, what? 34?
それもとっくの昔34年前に。
Here's the weird part. I forget if this is actually... Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong, right? He died 17 years ago. I'm trying to remember how this... I don't think they changed it from the original because I still think it's like they... Yeah, there's still a quandary here because he was like, how do I exist if he's my father? I mean, he's not actually my father. But for some reason, she doesn't go, oh, he's not my father in the original game. She's just like, this doesn't make sense. And a long time ago, 34 years ago, you're not really accusing anybody of doing anything funky, right? You're not saying, oh, my mother cheated on him because he was dead for 17 years at that point. Or 16 years. Or 15 years. It's like, no, she's actually 18. Well, she had to gestate. And a long time ago, 34 years ago.
34年前
Then he goes, wait, 34 years ago? Am I really that old?
ちょっと待って。34年前ってどういうことよ。
Wait a minute, what do you mean 34 years old? Yeah, it's weird that the computer system lists his death as happening 34 years ago, because he didn't die 34 years ago. It looks like even internally, he was listed as dead.
私まだ18歳よ。
But I'm only 18, you know.
なのにお父さんが34年前に死んだなんてそんなバカなことあるわけないじゃない。
And yet my father died 34 years ago? No way, that is impossible. And there's baka in the word, so it's like baka impossible. It's like silly impossible. Yeah, there's no way something as stupid as that could happen. That's why Google Translate renders it. Yeah, what Sora's saying doesn't add up at all.
私はまだその可能性があると言っただけです。
I just said there was still a possibility. How do you not know for
ワーム
certain?
の潜入ログを見ると、ワームは田中さんのお父様に関するデータを検索しようと試みたようです。
Looking at the worm's infiltration log, it seems the worm tried to search for data related to Tanaka-san's father. Okay. Yes.
しかし、田中陽一なる人物が存在した記録は、レミ、LMN04 内のデータベースには一切保存されておりませんでした。
I feel like a German, I could talk about German spelling. However, the records of the existence of the person called Tanaka Yoichi were not stored in the database of LM04 at all. What?
つまり、同姓同名の人物さえ存在しないということです。
So how do you know the things you do know? In other words, there's no one with the same name.
社内名簿にも経理関係の書類にもローカルエリアネットワーク上において取り交わされたあらゆるメッセージのログにも
Not in the company directory, not in the accounting documents, not in the logs of every message exchanged on the local area network.
田中陽一なる記述は発見されなかったのです。
Tanaka Ryoiki was never discovered. So then Yu's father wasn't here?
そんなはずないって。
That can't be.
私のお父さんは確かにここレミューで働いてたんだから。
My father did work here in Lemmu, after all.
それにお父さんがここにいたことがなかったとしても、それがお父さんが死んだことにはならないでしょ。
Besides, even if my father, respect towards Oto-san, never reached this place, that would mean he died, would it?
はい。
They haven't finished explaining. Yes? Bon.
はいじゃないでしょうが。34年前に死んだとか、どっからそんな仮説が導き出されたのか、ちゃんと説明してよ。
No, they're like, you calm down and just listen. You proceeds to not calm down and listen. Yes? Explain to me exactly where the legend came from. Like how he died 34 years ago. If you didn't find anything on him. Yeah.
落ち着いてください、先輩。
Please calm down, senpai. You tried to grab onto Sora, but... Oh. But Sora held her back. Well, good luck grabbing onto Sora.
では、順を追ってご説明申し上げます。
Then allow me to explain in order.
ですがその前に、一つお尋ねしてもよろしいでしょうか。
But before that, may I ask you something?
失礼ですが、田中さん、お父様がレミューで働いていたという話は、どこからお聞きになったのでしょうか。
Excuse me, Tanaka-san, which would be not Mr. Tanaka, but the offline translator assumes that it's male, and so if no context is given. Where did you hear about your father working in Lemmu?
それは。
That's...
確か、田中さんのお父様は、田中さんが1歳の時に失踪されたんですよね。
If I remember correctly, Tanaka-san's father disappeared when she was 1 year old, right?
その話が事実だとすれば、田中さんにはお父様の記憶は残っていないはずです。
If that story is true, then Tanaka-san doesn't have any memories of her father. Yes, but she could have been shown a picture of her as a baby with her father. Of course, it wouldn't be literally her, but it would look very close to her.
そうよ。
That's right.
私にはお父さんの記憶がない。
I don't have any memories of my father.
一緒に遊んだ記憶も、抱き上げてもらった記憶も。
The memories of us playing together, the memories of him holding me.
でも、1歳の時までお父さんは絶対に私のそばにいたはずなの。
Until I was 1 year old, my father would have been by my side. How would you know?
その時の写真やムービーは残ってるし。だから絶対にお父さんはいたのよ。
Come on, that move. What? There are still pictures and movies from that time. That's how my dad was there for sure. By of this movie, 17 Years of Out-of-Date Tech, saying that you took out a digital photo frame from her bag, right? Yeah, it's the bag kanji that she always carried around with her. Is it going to be the picture from from Lemieux from the we see in the Sora ending? She presses a button to change the image display. Oh, it's digital in this.
ほら見てよ。私とお父さんの写真。
Oh, it is the picture from the Sora ending. Okay. Come on, take a look. A picture of me and my father.
お母さんだってそう言ってたんだもん。間違いないのよ。
There's no doubt. That's what my mom said too. There's no doubt about it.
やはりそうでしたか。
I knew it. It is so. What does Sora figure out? Huh?
そのお母様に関することなのですが。
It's about your mother.
とても申し上げにくいことですが。
This is very difficult to say, but.
申し上げがたいって。今まで散々申し上げがたいことを言ってきたじゃない。
It's hard to say. You said a lot of difficult things up until now. Well, it's gonna get worse for you!
ねえ、教えてソラ。お母さんがどうしたの？
It's hard to say. You said a lot of difficult. Oh, continue. Is that true? Tell me, Sora. What happened to your mother? It's like I've said a lot of difficult things to you, but that's okay. Don't worry. It'll get worse.
よろしいのですね。
Are you sure? Yeah. Has it like a?
では、お伝えいたします。
Then I will tell you.
田中さんのお母様、田中幸恵様も。
Tanaka-san's mother, Yuki Tanaka-sama.
今から15年前にやはりお亡くなりになられています。
Oh, there's a mo at the end. So it's like also died 15 years ago. But why is that? We need to do Google Translate on this because why is there so many characters after the 15 years ago? So it's 15 years ago, and there's a whole bunch of stuff which the offline translator just renders as died. Oh, so it's like a colloquialism for died. So Google Translate would say passed away. Okay.
何言ってるのよ、ソラ。
What are you saying, Sora?
いい加減にしてよ。
Enough with the annihilation. I'm gonna have to get that kanji because it's essential to understanding this. So let's dither. So that says cut it out already. Oops, I hit the microphone. I don't know if that came through or not. Yeah, something like enough already. Okay.
そんなバカなことあるわけないじゃない。
There's no way something that stupid like that could happen.
私の方からはこれ以上申し上げることはできません。
I can't say anything more.
ディスプレイに詳細な資料を表示しておきました。
I've displayed the detailed documents on the display.
そちらをご覧になってください。
Please take a look over here. Over there.
わかったわ。
I got it. So we're getting get the paperwork on Yuki before Yoiki. Staggering, you sat down in front of the display. And of course we get the certificate of death, right? And how it happened, or do we know how it happened? The cause of death is deep blue, but I don't know if it tells us that yet. I peered over Yu's shoulder at the screen. There's... Do we get a CG of a background? It'd be a background as opposed to a CG. But I don't think there was one in the original game. They just had to talk about it. There's a log file of miscellaneous back and forth between the employees that shouldn't be too important. Oh, so we're using this to describe Yuki's death. You ran the mouse over and opened the file. Oh, but you already opened because you already saw what was in there. Whatever. An email informed me of her death. Or informed people of her death. Yuki Tanaka's file on the paperwork due to her death. Okay, so you have that. A log of messages exchanged by employees upon hearing of her death. A funeral announcement. The details of this aren't really important for the plot, so you don't need to pay attention really close to the list of things that describe Yuki's death because, well, it turns out it's true that's when she died, and all you need to know is that she died 15 years before whatever this is happening, right? It's basically, there's no mod here, just and so ons appear on the screen and disappear one by one. The other things appear and disappear on the screen one after another. The date and time when they were uploaded on the server was... '02/07/19, which would be, yeah, the year. You could have some confusion about things, but okay, as an American, I would say this is February 7th, 2019. I think as a German, you would say this is August 2nd, 2019. Either way, it's 2019. In other words, oh, they're going to try to... It's July 19th, 2002. Wait, so are they going to do it where... So, if you're not aware of this, I don't really understand how this went, but I understand how it went now in the Xbox Remake. I understand how this was supposed to go. So, in the original game, they have the same thing happen. It's said a little bit differently. This information is said from the mouth of Sora as opposed to the kid looking over Yu's shoulder at upload dates. But somehow, Sora presents the date of Yuki's death as 02/07/19. And as someone who speaks Japanese, because someone who speaks Japanese is supposed to be who's playing this game, apparently you interpret that as 2002, because you read the year first the way you read dates in Japanese, apparently. As I see here. However, when Hirameki, which is now out of business, made their English translation of the original game, they didn't do what you see here. They just said that Sora said that it actually was they ran it like an English day. They probably put February 7th, 2019. They basically give you the number 2019, the year 2019, right out of Sora's mouth. And it was actually a translation you could consider a translation mistake because the reader is supposed to be deceived into thinking it's 2002 when it's actually supposed to say 2019. And then later on, the game clarifies that though this is the German way of writing dates, not the Japanese way of writing dates, and it's actually 2019 instead of 2002. This is supposed to keep up the ruse that it's year 2017, that the so-called Takeshi started with that ticket, I guess in this case. I think it was a magazine in the original game, but ticket in the remake. But it kind of falls apart here. Now, for some reason, that didn't work with me when I played the original game, because I didn't notice. But then I still guessed that this was 17 years later immediately anyway. Because that was the only way I could explain why things were, different between the sides. And I could tell things were different between the sides while only playing one side. But there's how, if you're only familiar with the Hirameki translation, this is how it's supposed to go, right? In the original game in Japanese, which I do actually have. I actually had the original game in Japanese, but I haven't played it in Japanese because I played it in English, and I don't want to go back and do all that all over again, but harder. I guess I could as Japanese practice. I already have so much Japanese practice already. I have the entire Memories Off series, so why do I need that for Japanese practice? It's supposed to be like this, where they read the date wrong, and the kid actually reads the date as 2002, and so the kid still thinks it's 2017, because 2002 is 17 years ago. It's 15 years ago, and Yuki's supposed to have died 15 years ago. It all makes sense, right? You opened the last file. But of course, Yu knows that it's 2034, so she's looking at it. She's probably reading the date correctly. It's just the kid's not reading the date correctly. Yeah. It's like a chat log between male employee A and General Affairs Department Personnel Division and female employee B of the Research Department 2nd Division's Research Division. That doesn't matter, but we'll continue. And then A says, but it surprised me. Okay. B says eh. Okay, Yuki, I'm talking about Yuki-san, Tanaka Yuki-san, and the others. And then we see it spelled because B. So, watashi, which is I. Yuki-san, but spelled with an umlaut. Ni. Okay. But it doesn't have a CH though. It's still you. Anyway, continue. Sugoku Kawi. Okay, this is all written out in Furugana. See what Google Translate to say, because it was weird. Because Yuki-san loved me so much. Interesting. Okay, should have remembered who was male and who was female. Looks like A is a man and B is a woman. Okay. I mean, this doesn't mean like there's anything like a relationship going on here, right? Like you can use the phrase "someone loved you" and not mean a relationship. Uh, y- you're right. Be no direct superior. Since, okay, Yuki was B's direct superior, continue. If so, by the way, do you know the cause of death? TB. TB? I love how it's like the exact same acronym as tuberculosis, and both of them make you cough up blood. It's funny. But they don't get confused by that because there's a clarification. Tiefblau. Oh, there's no and the others, by the way. Okay. That again. See? It's the same as your husband. Yeah, B's a woman, okay. I didn't say B was gay, but like, you know, it's probability. It's probability. Probabilistically, it's B's the woman because only 12% of, well, we'll get into statistics and stuff. B was the woman when we clarify using the lines of text. The same way your husband died. What do you mean, Donna-san? What? What about husband? Okay. What about my husband? Eh? It's like, didn't your husband also die of the same thing? Don't tell me you don't know. Is that so? This chat right here just informed B that her husband died of Tiefblau right now, right here, right now. But this conversation shouldn't be so too much inside the company. Why? We'll save that for another time. Who's B's husband? Yoiki-san died 19 years ago, right? Oh, it's not your husband, it's her husband. Okay. Okay, so it's... Yeah, she died of Tiefblau in the same way her husband died of Tiefblau. But we shouldn't keep this say about too much about this inside the company. But then, yeah, he's going. But Yoiki-san died 19 years ago, right? Tiefblau wasn't a thing then. Yes. Like I said, this is bad. Like I said, this is bad, really. So it's like, let's not talk about that. She had kids too, poor thing. Okay. She had a kid too. Well, she kind of had. I guess you could say she had two that they thought of. Well, the clone law is already gone, so I don't know if they just had to hide it, but they may have thought of both of the Yu clones as kids of Yuki. If I remember correctly, she is her only daughter. I feel sorry for her, really. When I checked the date, this log was saved on February 7th, or if it's German, the 2nd of August. 2019.
そんな
But the kid reads it wrong, of course.
そんなの
That's
お母さんが死んでいたなんて
I can't believe my mother is dead.
私は信じない。そんなの信じられない。
I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
絶対私は信じないからね。
Yeah, I was so bad that I read that wrong. Because it's like, wait, same way that B's husband died? And then it's like, wait a second. No, not B's husband. Yuki's husband died. A was saying that Yuki's husband, Yuki, died of teeth blow. He's like, oh, well, oops, I shouldn't be saying this on the company chat. Oh, that would have been, that's so, sorry for confusing you all. I'll never believe it. You yelled and ran out of the room.
先輩
Senpai, of course. Sara hurried after her. I couldn't chase after you. Because I had to do my plot stuff. I gotta learn the figure out stuff that she didn't figure out. Because I couldn't move, as if I was glued to the screen. Tief Blau. That sounds familiar to me because of, Blink Winkle and junk. Those words, which I don't remember, bind me with fear. So
ワ
you
ーム
kind
に
of
持ち
remember
帰っ
them.
た情報からは、田中陽一という方のお名前は全く存在しないことが分かりました。
From the information the worm brought back, it became clear that the name Tanaka Yoiki doesn't exist at all. However, Sora started explaining the chat log to me.
しかし、今から15年前に交わされたと思われるこの A 氏、B 氏のチャットのログには、
However, in the chat log between this A and B, which is thought to have been exchanged 15 years ago,
田中幸恵様の旦那様とおぼしき陽一さんなる人物の名が確かに記載されております。
the name of the person Yoiki who seems to be Tanaka Yuki-sama's husband is definitely listed.
文脈から判断するに、陽一さんは当時から遡ること19年前、すなわち今から34年前に亡くなられたものと推測されます。
Judging from the context, it's estimated that Yoiki-san died 19 years ago, at that time, 34 years ago. But there's only a possibility, but we don't talk about it. Didn't Yoiki die 19 years ago? Well, we shouldn't talk about it, right? As I listened to Sora's explanation, one question came to mind. Huh? You couldn't find any information for the name Yoiki Tanaka. So, why was it in only this log?
これも推測の範囲内を出ませんが、
This is out of the realm of conjecture, either, probably.
おそらく何らかの理由により、田中陽一さんに関するすべての記録は抹消されたものと思われます。
It's likely that all records related to Yoiki Tanaka have been erased for some reason.
このログの14行目と15行目を今一度ご確認ください。
I have to explain this to you. Please check the 14th and 15th lines of this log again. A says, don't tell me you don't know. B says, is that so? The way they're connected is kind of unnatural.
はい。
Yes. Oh, like there's a
本
line
来なら
missing.
ば14行目と15行目の間には何らかの会話文が挿入されていたはずなのです。
Normally, the questions on the 14th and 15th lines would have contained some kind of conversation. Right. Don't tell me you don't know. A tells her something. She says, oh, is that so? In other words, that part has been deleted by someone else's hand.
A 氏の発言からもそのことが伺えます。
You can also tell from A's secret, right? A doesn't want to talk about it. And B's subsequent statement, Yoiki-san's name is still there. So that's how it is. I'm sure all the descriptions that included Yoiki have been erased, such as, Yoiki in kanji or in katakana have been erased. But for some reason, B-san's statement was overlooked. Well, one is it's in Romanji. That's Yoiki, in other words, because it was written in Romanji.
いいえ、残念ながらそうではありません。
No, they would have caught that too. No, unfortunately, that is not the case. Alright? Yeah, because the
削
Romanjis
除
are
を
also
行った
scrubbed.
人間はそこまで愚かではありません。
The person who deleted it is not that foolish. Deleted them is not that foolish.
削除対象には陽一というローマ字表記も含まれていたと思われます。
I believe that the target of the deletion included the Roman characters for Yoiki. Like that. But. So he says, but. But actually, this is what happened. Okay.
少年さん、B さんの発言をよく見てください。
Yeah, kid, please take a good look at what Mr. B, it's Mrs. B, because we know she's a woman, Mrs. B said.
彼女は普通とは少し異なる書き方をしていませんか？
Isn't she writing in a slightly different way than normal? Right, B is a German person. German woman. Is this O, an O with two dots on top?
はい、これはウムラウトと申しまして、ゲルマン語、主にドイツ語で
So if your spelling is bad enough, also you can avoid the scrubbers. Yes, this is called a German umlaut, used mainly in German.
母音あ、う、おが後続のいまたはえに引かれて、それに近づいた音に変わるときに使用される記号なのです。
It's a symbol used when the vowel a, u, or o is drawn with a following e or e and changes the sound that approaches it. I gotta get it right. Like you put an umlaut before the o, the u, or the a is followed by an I or an e. Or sometimes when. Which means that umlaut was included.
はい。
Yes.
私もそう考えたので、B さんのその他の発言についても調べてみました。
I thought so too, but I looked into B-san's other departure dates. I thought the same, so I looked into B's other release dates. Okay.
彼女は チャットやメールなど親しい間でやり取りするような砕けた形式の文章では、
She doesn't write chats, texts, or anything in a broken format that can be exchanged between close friends. Right, she only speaks really formal Japanese, correct? She doesn't use casual texts like chats or emails, which are used in close relationships.
アルファベットのあ、う、おをウムラウトにして記述する癖があったようです。
It seems that she has a habit of umlautizing the A, U, and O. Yeah, just in general. So she wasn't doing this to try to hide that she was talking about Yoiki. She didn't know that there was something to hide there, it just happened. I wonder if her fixation on it is like her style?
だよねをだよねと書いたり、なのさをなのさと書いたりする方をしばしばお見受けしますが、これもその類と考えて差し支えないでしょう。
So then Sora's gonna talk about uses of katakana and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I often see people write tayo ne as tayo ne, katakana ne as if hiragana ne. Or na no sa with hiragana, or na no sa, the sa being katakana. But I'm sure you can think of it as something like that. It's more like she's just German. As she spoke, Sora used her fingertips to write down hiragana and katakana.
それはそうと、田中さん大丈夫でしょうか。
That aside, I wonder if Tanaka-san will be okay. Yeah, Sora chased after her, but I'm worried about her. I'm going to check on her.
では私はまだ仕事が途中でしたので、これで失礼します。
Well then, I'm still in the middle of work, so I'll be going now. She's like redoing stuff in Lemieux because now she has all the authority. Oh, that's right. Hold on, Sora. Or not. It's Chokto. Wait a minute, Sora.
はい、何か？
Yes, what is it? Thank you. You explained in Sora's place, didn't you?
松永さんと田中さんはとても仲がよろしいようでしたから、私がお伝えするのが一番角が立たないかと思いまして。
Matsunaga-san and Taka-san seem to get along very well. I thought it would be best for me to tell them. Through you. Yeah, but I don't think you need to worry about that. After all, they're friends and, well, something about he's a Boku in there. I gotta switch to Japanese. This is for time and typing. After all, we're all friends.
そうですね。
That is true, isn't it? Smiling supremely, Sora disappeared beyond the display. Okay, so we got through the info dump. Leaving the empty control room behind, it chased after you and the others. Or, there's no others, it just chased after you. The Lemurian ruin hasn't opened yet, though, so I don't know where we're going to find her exactly. Oh, yes, it has. It has. We're already at Rite stock. Forgot we got down there already. As I was walking down the corridor, Sarah popped out from around the corner. As I was walking down the corridor. Oh, okay.
少年。
Oh, kid. You? He's just like, you, Sarah shook her head.
今は一人にしてほしいって。
She wants me to leave her alone for now. I see.
ねえ少年、先輩を助けてあげて。
Hey, kid, help senpai. Help?
先輩のところに行って慰めてあげるの。
I'm going to see. I basically go to see senpai and think about her. Oh. Go to senpai and show your consideration. But you said she wanted to be left alone, though. Why? Didn't she want to be alone?
そういう時こそ君の出番。
That's when it's your turn. But she uses Kimi for the your. Which is... I still don't understand what Kimi means exactly, but it seems to be almost always used in a shippy context. But Sarah couldn't, right?
これは君にしかできない役だから。
No, this is a role only you can play. Sorry being all meta. But there's nothing I can do even if I go, right?
あのね、いくら強がってたって女の子はいつも待ってるものなんだよ。
Yeah, no matter how much you act tough, girls always wait for you, you know. Or how much they act tough. You see, no matter how tough they act, girls are always waiting, you know. Waiting?
決まってるでしょ、自分を救ってくれるヒーロー。
Isn't it obvious? The hero who will save you. Hero?
そう、ずっとずっと待ってるの。
That's right. They will be waiting forever. Yes, they've been waiting forever. Okay. So that's what Zuto means. Which appears a lot in that new J-pop song. What's new is as the time of recording this, relatively.
白馬の王子様を待ってるの。
It means like forever, or something like that. I'm waiting. They're waiting for the prince on their white horse. The prince on the white horse?
そうよ、女の子ってのはそういう生き物なの。
That's right. That is the kind of creature girls are. It's like, try not to spontaneously start singing The World Is Mine. But I am not a hero or a prince.
ひょっとして少年は先輩のこと嫌いなの？
Well, you wanted that name at some point if you wait. They didn't do that in the remake. Oh, don't tell me you don't like Senpai. There's no way that would happen. Oh, his defeatistness? That can't be true, though. Oh.
じゃあ行ってきなさい。
Well then, go! Guys, just go. Sarah pointed down the corridor. Fine. Pushed by Sara's intensity, I agreed. But let me ask you one thing. Why are you so open-minded? If I'm just a man, you should be fine with Takeshi. Huh? Why me? If it's just about being a man, then Takeshi should be fine too. Yeah, you don't understand that she knows that you're her brother. And so that's why he's trying to set you up specifically.
決めたから。
Because I made up my mind. What?
そう、決めたの。少年をエコひいきするって。
That's what I've decided. I'm going to Echo Piki the kid. What's Echo Piki mean? I'm going to give the boy preferential treatment according to Google Translate. Oh, Echo Hiki.
言っとくけど、私のひいきは半端じゃないからね。
I'll say it for later. But my hiki is not half bad, okay? Huh? I know, but I'm really being a bit of a picky eater. Oh, picky is pick. Okay. Sarah took my hand and smiled fearlessly. Sarah guided me here. On the way, Sarah left quietly, waving her hand. Well, at least this occurs in the right location, the correct location for it. I can see you from behind the towering stone monument. She was leaning against the monument. I slowly approached you. You? You turned to me and begged me with a very longing expression.
お願いだから、今、話しかけないで。
Please, don't talk to me now.
私のそばに来ないでよ。
Don't come near me. And the kid says, but I want to be use ka. Ka ni naritaiんだよ. This is bow. I mean, I would tend to say I want to be use strength, but most machine translators are saying girlfriend, so I don't know really what to do here.
力になる。あなたに何ができるっていうのよ。
Going to go crazy. What do you think you can do? Yeah, be strength. What can you do? Okay, so, but this just translated into hero.
それじゃあ死んだ人間を生き返らせてよ。
Then bring the dead back to life. It's like, well then, Soreja. Well then, bring the dead back to life.
本当のお母さんに会わせてよ。
Match me to my real mother. I can't do that, but I'm worried about you.
心配。あなたに今の私の気持ちがわかるの。
Worried? Do you understand how I feel right now?
わからないわよね。私のことも知らないし、だいたい記憶がないんだから。
You don't know, do you? You don't know me, and you don't even remember me. Oh. Basically, she doesn't know me. Wait. Because there's no you in there, it's just don't know. Don't know me. We don't know who it is, though. And don't remember much about it. But I can't leave you alone. Those are my true feelings without any falsehoods, okay? Without any hypocrisy. I just stared at you.
ごめん。
Sorry.
きっと今の私どうかしてるからひどいこと言っちゃったね。
I'm sure there's something wrong with me right now, so I said something terrible. You approached the monument and leaned. I approached the monument and leaned next to you.
ねえ少年、真実ってなんだろうね。
Hey, kid, what's the truth?
真実って信じていたものが嘘に変わることなのかな。
Does the truth mean that what I believed in turns into a lie?
今まで信じてきたすべてが嘘ってことになる。
Everything I've believed up until now is a lie.
何もかも全部すべてが否定されるってこと。
Everything will be denied.
だから私怖いの。
That's why I'm scared.
真実が分かったら今までの私も否定される。
Yeah, it's like, what situation am I in? What was the purpose of the people who did this to me doing this to me? Why would you do that to me? If I knew the truth, I would be denied as well. You?
ここにいる私って誰？
Who am I? I mean, it's a good question. It's right, there's a here in there, though. Here, who am I?
まるで誰かが私の記憶を書き換えたみたい。
It's as if someone rewrote my memories.
あなたの記憶喪失だって奴らの仕業かもしれないのよ。
Well, this came out in 2011, right? They made a game about that, no? Just deletion of memories, not rewriting of them. That didn't come out until 2017. Oh, 2017, huh? They made a game about rewriting memories. A very famous game, in fact. The loss of your memory might be their doing, you know? Yeah, they're making Tsugumi's conversation relevant. Tsugumi's words suddenly came back to me. Yu's memories, my memories, they're both incomplete.
今まで結局何していたんだろう。
I wonder what she's been doing all this time? I've been doing? I wonder what I've been doing up until now. Right, these are all good points. And Tsugumi could try to, could answer some of this. We know, right? But she probably, well, you would think that she would be super confused, actually, in that there's still a 18-year-old version of you here. I guess you would have to conclude, okay, well, there must have been a clone. There must have been a cloning. Because otherwise this isn't possible. Right? But she appears to still think you is one of the people who's in on this plot. Or maybe she actually thinks that you got Curie syndrome, you stopped aging, and 21-year-old you doesn't look sufficiently different from 18-year-old you that she would be able to recognize the difference in age 17 years later, right? So she just assumes this is just you again, and she's acting. I guess that's what she would think. So, but this might, if she heard this conversation, Sumi might get thrown into a loop by it. It's like, wait a second, what? There's a what? What?
こんなところまで来て必死になって調べて
Come on. The reason why I said 21-year-old you is, you may not remember this, but Curie syndrome tends to lock your age in about 3 years after you contract it. I came all the way out here, and I worked so hard to find out.
本当は知らなくていいこととか知らない方がいいことしかわからないなんて
I don't really know what I don't need to know and what I should, what. I only know things I don't really need to know and that are better off not knowing. And by the way, I don't believe in this idea.
本当
It's
は
always
何が
better
した
to
かっ
know
た
than
の
not
かも
know.
わからなくなっちゃった
I don't even know what I really wanted to do anymore. What did I really want to get here? Huh. So he is saying I. What did I really want to do when I came here? I don't know. I couldn't make any guesses about the process. Even if it's something I believed in. Right now, where the current me doesn't know if someone planned this or if I was lured into this, or did someone orchestrate a current situation or lead us astray or make us believe it, or what? I don't know what make us believe it is. I can't find my memories. I can't find the truth.
考古学と同じね。
It's the same as archaeology. Yu mutters to herself as she looks at the Lemurian epitaph.
例えばこの碑文に書かれていること。
For example, what's written in this epitaph?
レムニア滅亡の様子を書いているとか、レムニア滅亡の予言を記したとか。
Well, the CG isn't really appropriate right now because it's not. This is in the original game. This was actually from inside the ruin, and Yu was sitting down. You could actually see her knee. So, I thought that leaning. The picture in my head that I get from the notion of leaning is not sitting down. But they had to use the CG somehow, I guess. You're portraying the state. It's portraying the state of Lemuria's destruction, and it's writing a prophecy of Lemuria's destruction. It is said that it describes the downfall of Lemuria, or that it predicts the downfall of Lemuria, one or the other.
さらに未来の予言が記されているとか言われているけど、真実はわからない。
It's said that there's a prophecy of the future written on it, but I don't know the truth.
それを知っている人はもういないから。
There's no one who knows that anymore.
私って誰？私って何なの？
Who am I and what am I?
ねえ、誰か教えてよ。教えてちょうだいよ。
Hey, someone tell me. Tell me. So, we have Wakaranai and Uyu. So I believe Wakaranai is I don't know, and Uyu is you are you. But I'm going to confirm here, or try to. Yeah, I don't know. Second one is you is you. You is you. That would be a better way to say this. Well, I don't know is correct. I don't think either one of these is wrong, but I'm going to try you anyway. Most of these would be relatively decent things to say, right? I don't know is decent because he doesn't know. You are you makes sense because it's kind of like a I think therefore I am sort of statement where, well, you know something about who you are, and that is you are, have a self-existent, like, I don't know how to describe this. Whatever. We'll see how the game describes it. You are you. Come on. Yep. Since I don't have any memories, I don't know anything more than that, but... But to me, you is, well, you.
I am you. そうね。I am you だわ。
That's right. I am you! Oh, they're reusing this phrase.
私はあなた。
That's... Okay, so watashi wa anata is I am you in Japanese. Like a literal word-for-word translation of that.
あなたは私。
That's you are me. written out in Japanese, word for word.
ユーアーミ
There it is in English.
一人ぼっちじゃない
I am not all alone.
そうよねそうなのよ
That's right, that's right. So they took the phrase I am you. That they deleted it from when this same character introduces herself to the kid for the first time. In fact, I think they cut that whole thing out of the game. And they decided to use it in the context of the revelation that our entire backstory appears to be a lie fabricated by whoever claimed to be your mother. Okay. Interesting. I kind of like that. Okay, that's right, that's right.
過去がどうだろうと今いる私は私なんだから
Whatever the past, I am who I am now.
やめたわもうやめた
Imagine if the Danganronpa three characters decided to go this route. They're like, well, it's like, who the hell are you guys? I am me. Yeah, I'm done. I am done in two ways. Okay, whatever that means. What?
わからないことをいつまでも悩むのをやめたのよ
I'll stop worrying about things I don't understand. So you're going to stop looking into it?
なんで
Why? Well, you said you were done.
悩むのをやめたって言ったのよ
I said I'd stop worrying.
それに分かったのは情報の断片よだから新たな情報が入ればそれだけ視点も広がるし別の視点から見ることだってできるじゃない
Besides, what I've learned is that it's an out-of-print version of the information, so the more new information I get, the more my perspective expands, and I can see it from a different perspective.
そのためにもまだまだ調べるわよ時間の許す限りだけどね
That's why I'm still going to look into it. It's only for the sake of time.
とはいえどこで何を調べればいいのやら
That said, I don't know where to start, or what to look into.
ああ非科学的だけど第三視点があったら手っ取り早くていいんだけどね
It's unscientific. But if I had a third point of view, it'd be easy. Except when the third point of view doesn't have any memories of anything. I know someone who does, but they don't have no memories. You smiled as she said that.
さてと少年これから何か食べに行きましょう
It's like, the kid's like, yeah, I'm here, but it's not that simple. You see, the game has to trickle out the information to the player as well. So in order to do that, it has to trickle out the information to you. So you're going to be confused for a while anyway. It's not going to be hard anyway. It's not going to be that easy anyway. Now then, kid, let's go get something to eat. Isn't it dinner? It's dinner. Isn't dinner over?
お腹が減ると負の感情に関わる神経細胞が刺激されるって知ってる
Well, we can eat whatever we want to eat. Do you have any Doritos? Do you know that when you get hungry, neurons related to negative emotions are stimulated?
だからさっきみたいなろくでもない考えが浮かんだのよ
It's like, do you know that there's such a thing called hangriness? That's why I came up with such a bad idea like before.
というわけで気分を上向きにするために食事をしようと思ったの
What is fever? Wait, there's no Netsu in here. So I decided to eat something to warm my mood. Then let's go. Or we should go. Something like that. You held out her hand to me. Yu's hand is warm, and I feel like she'll share her energy with me. I always hate these lines because my hands are always like super cold. Nothing really I can do about it. It's just the way my body is. It's like the standard. Your hand is supposed to be. If you have warm hands, that's better. It's like the lyrics too. I'm glad that you're evil too, right? It's like, oh, but I don't have warm hands though. Ah, it hurts. And we're just gonna skip to the 55 hours until collapse, I guess. We haven't switched the day yet. What's happening? Why are we in... What's this room? I don't recognize it. What's this background? Next thing I knew, I was almost standing there. What? That's... Silence fell over the empty space. Are we seeing a vision of 2017? It's so quiet and cold. This is where? This, or here. They say it's kind of interchangeable. That might be confusing for Japanese speakers trying to learn English, is that this and here are different words. Inside Lemu, maybe? Lemu no naka. Daroka. I don't recognize this place at all. A world I don't know. Yeah, I don't either. I don't recognize this background. This is not from 2017. There's like a long loading deck, and then there's like a console with some computers, and then there's like a machine. I don't know. For the most part, I'm standing alone in an unfamiliar passageway. Yeah? What's that mean? Come on. The bow turned into Ho-Po. Just... Oh, I know. But you're not going to tell me, are you? Because it's not time for that, is it? It's going to tantalize me? For some reason, I felt that way. Well, we haven't been here. Where is that? I don't know where that is. Is that in, like, some Leibniz lab somewhere? As if I can see a faint illusion to the fog. Or like the moon gently poking its head out from between the clouds covering the night sky. Okay, I recognize that. That's a corridor in IBF. So I kind of suggest the previous thing we saw was also a corridor in IBF, but it wasn't in the Sora ending or the bad ending when you go down to IBF. Is that the loading bay in IBF? Like where you get on the sub? Is that where that is? A straight passageway. For both front and back, it went on endlessly. No, it doesn't. You can see the end right there. There's a T-junction. Slowly, without even walking, I started walking. So it's kind of like you floated forward. Like you're like a video game controller where you just push the forward button and hold it and you go forward. And I've been here before. Sort of. You were but a zygote. No, I get it. It's Blinkwinkle, right? Blinkwinkle's been here before. But I couldn't be stupid. But I couldn't bring myself to it. I presume that means like I couldn't reach the memory that was peeking through. When was that? I felt like something from the distant. It felt like something from the distant past, but also like it was very recent. Out of nowhere, I keep walking. I do it without the background music because, of course, copyright. But I wonder what the background music for this part is. Is it like a mysterious, or is it like the IBF not fall kind of music, that kind of intense music? Could be either one. So, I have to go. Oh, Okay, let's clean this up. Boku wa. Okay, I have to go. Where am I going? I don't understand, or I don't know. But I had to go. That's why I'm walking. This quiet world. This cold world. Yes. It reminds me of a Stonewall Jackson song, which I'm not going to spontaneously start singing. Okay. This cramped world. The whole I have to walk thing. A world that doesn't exist anywhere. Okay, this is the IBF infirmary. Scenery suddenly changed. Yeah, I was guessing that first thing is probably the submarine loading dock, which we've seen. I haven't actually seen the background for that yet in the remake. But I know it has to exist, right? It's a white room. You don't go there in the remake version of the Sora route for some reason. I think you probably go there even in the Sora route in the original because you go to all the rooms and you see, or you have a conversation with someone in there or something. I forget. There were three capsule-like machines in the corner of the room, or right in the middle of it, one or the other. Sometimes the background just don't match the text. I don't know what her invitation is. It's probably as if I had an invitation. As if being invited, I approach the capsule. Or capsules. Huh, it's open. Okay, that's interesting. There's someone inside the capsule. Which wouldn't be too much of a surprise for the reader right now, right? Because we know we've put Coco in the capsule just for like a high pressure, hyperbaric chamber treatment, right? But there is something about the this color scheme, obscured by how the previous scenes have had that color scheme, and this wispiness that's a bit of a hint of something more here. Kind of funny though how the backgrounds are all blurred, but this CG is not. It's just grayscale but not blurred. Someone is sleeping inside it. You should recognize her from when you talk to her in the recompression chamber in Ersteboten. My right hand reaches for the capsule. My right hand touches it. And the dream dissipates, right? At that moment, my right hand froze, hint, hint. Eh? I wonder if this is going to be in the CG list. Startled, I tried to jump back. But my right hand was frozen, stuck to the capsule, and wouldn't move away. Blue color seeps out of the capsule from where my hand is touching it, I presume. My vision blurred into a deep, deep blue. Deep blue. To the floor, to the walls, to the ceiling, to the entire room, a deep blue threatened to swallow everything up. And I believe we have seen this background before, maybe in color, because it shows up at the very, very tail end of the Sora route, I believe. Before I knew it, my body was swallowed up by a deep blue. I get why it's called deep blue now, because it's the ocean. Wow, to figure that out. From my eyes, from my mouth, from my ears, from my nose, from my pores, from every hole in my body, the deep blue invades me. The deep blue that invaded my body dyed my blood vessels as it coursed through my entire body. My brain, my alveolar system, okay, and my ventricle are filled with a deep blue. So I presume like your alveoli, those are your lung sacs, and of course your left ventricle. No, not ventricles. Probably ventricles plural are chambers in your heart. Yeah, the brain, the alveoli, which are the sacs, his lungs, and chambers of his heart fill with the deep blue. A deep blue seeped into my consciousness, my mind, my heart, my soul. I'm changing into something that isn't me. I opened my eyes. Before my eyes, I saw an invisible gap. If it's invisible, how is it before your eyes? The darkness I can't see is peering at me. Oh, okay. Headache. The darkness and I stare at each other. It's like Simon and Garfunkel now. In the depth of that invisible darkness, I thought I saw a gap I couldn't see. Big excitement. In the midst of bottomless fear and intense despair, I let out a voiceless scream.
お兄ちゃん起きてる
And then there's Coco. Oni-chan, are you awake? Oh, maybe that's Sarah, a much younger Sarah. That's when an out-of-place voice, no, a bubble formed in the darkness.
あ、まだ寝てる。もう、困ったお兄ちゃんなんだから。
Oh yeah, that's Sara. There's certain specific Sara-like characteristics in that voice. Okay, that's not Coco, that's Sara. Oh, he's still asleep. You're so troublesome, big brother. Wait. Older by a minute. The bubbles increase, enveloping my consciousness. So getting both sides of these two memories at once. I'm gonna pause for... Oh, no, I don't have to. Okay. I got in that situation where someone who's driving got lost and then accidentally pulled into my driveway while looking for someone else, and they got, like, embarrassed at the top of the driveway and then didn't continue. Maybe we'll see. I'll pause it just in case. Okay, well, I paused, but I'm actually going to quit now, so that was it. So I will save my game. I have to go to another page here. And then... see what showed up in the CG gallery here. Why do I say here? No, it's actually no variation. That's a different pose. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Huh. We got this one all of a sudden. Where it doesn't necessarily need it to be given yet. But this Coco in the pod here, that's a different angle, camera angle on Coco in the pod, so it wouldn't add to that. But it doesn't give us a new category for it either. So I wonder if that version of that CG will be added later when we get the CG. For real. Which would be in the final route, of course. Okay.